It's Katie from becomeagroupguru.com. I'm here with Emily Morgan from Delegate Solutions. Emily, thank you so much for being here.
So grateful to be here. Thank you.
So I'm really excited that you're here. I fully respect and am in all of you as a woman business owner, one of the Philly top 100 businesses, right? Like growing, making an amazing impact. Just for some context for our watchers here, I invited Emily on because I've been working with Delegate Solutions since July-ish. I don't know if you remember, but around that time. Emily, I shared in my group earlier as I was promoting you coming on, and I said I had this pivotal moment where, my husband's a business owner, I'm a business owner, I'm a parent, I'm a person, and in the midst of all of this quarantine, I had like a breakdown moment where I ran in my backyard and I threw my shoes off and I was like, I need to feel grounded to the earth. And I just realized I can't do all the things all the time and still sustain my business, let alone scale my business the way that I want to. And so my friend Tanya had put me in contact with you, and that's how we got to where we are now. So all of that to say, I really would love to kind of roll back all of the talking that I do and understand from you a little bit about what Delegate Solutions is, and then I have some questions to help our followers understand a little more. So go ahead.
Well, congrats to you also, Philly 100 winner.
Thank you.
We find out our ranking, I guess, next week, I think. Yeah, so we've been in business 13 years, and my company is all about helping entrepreneurs leverage their time through delegation. So we're a premium virtual assistant firm. We work only with entrepreneurs, and everything we've built really speaks to how entrepreneurs operate. Like, we all start our business because we love doing something, and then it's successful and it grows, and then we run out of time. And the only way the business can grow is if we create more time. And where a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck is that they don't know what to delegate. They don't know how to delegate. They just know that, oh my God, I need to go run around and take my shoes off because I need to feel the ground. Like, you're definitely the profile of who our client is. And so we work with you to help you figure out how to delegate for maximum ROI on the investment that you make in the support. And I think the other fear that entrepreneurs have when delegating is that they're going to wake up and the assistant's going to be gone, especially virtual. VAs in general have a very short life cycle, less than a year typically. And I've heard nothing but lots of horror stories about people that wake up and their assistant is gone. So we work in a teamed approach where we assign 2 team members to support clients with different sort of functions. And then we sort of manage them because they're our employees.
Yeah, and I love that model. And I think I want to highlight a couple things that you just said. So number one is hitting that ceiling of what we can do as an entrepreneur. And so my group, as I shared with you before you came on, was that we're all entrepreneurs in some way, whether it's private practice, solo practitioner, or group practice owner, that we all, and I think maybe this isn't unique, you might know more than me, but therapists to me feel unique in the sense of yes, we get into this field because we want to help people, we want to hone our craft at doing this clinical work, and then we also have to be the marketers, we have to be the phone intake person, we have to do all the billing, we have to write the notes, and so we end up with all these other pieces that we don't particularly enjoy and that we run out of time to do, and then it caps our ability to make money because our direct billable hours are also, we have to do all these other things in order to keep business in order. So I guess I'm curious, as we're talking and I'm kind of explaining that, what are some of the things that Delegate Solutions can be supportive with when it comes to calls and emails and billing? And I can share what's been really helpful for me, but if you have a few general things like that, that would be helpful for people to hear.
Yeah, one of my very first clients is a therapist. So when I first started the business, I was personally supporting her for a number of years. So I can speak directly to how I helped her, but largely with her, it was about marketing. It was about putting processes in place. It was about the billing, sending confirmations, helping organize her team of therapists around office hours, following up on outreach that she was doing or different events that we were putting on. She was an infertility and adoption therapist. So she was always putting on events and working with infertility clinics and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
just organize her practice. Because therapists are, again, like, I don't want to speak in broad terms here, but I didn't go to business school, right? Like, I have an English degree. And so a lot of us with successful businesses, we didn't go to business school, but there's so much operationally that needs to happen to make the business run besides just showing up to do therapy.
Right. Right. I also have an English degree and a therapy degree. Yeah, and so a lot of what I teach in my course and in my group is around the marketing of groups. And what I like about what you're saying here is like, and what I'm actually getting support with is some of these repeatable processes. And that was like a mindset shift that I had to figure out in terms of how to best use a virtual assistant type service, is that I had to have the process and then have someone else implement that process. And so just speaking to what I think a lot of us here have experienced, where like, we know we need help, but then it's like, it feels like so much extra work to teach someone how to help us. And that's what I found as part of what is different with Delegate Solutions, is that it's not only been like this support team, but teaching me how to delegate, what to do in order to take things off my plate, which is different, right?
That's like our core sort of, value proposition, is that you can give anyone stuff to do, right? But you're at the beginning of sending that task off. And so where people get stuck is like, I don't have time to think about what I want to hand off. Mm-hmm. And so starting with the repeatables is always where we like to start, and we like to start with the goals. So like, what are the big things you're trying to do? Let's pull the delegation out from there. Then we'll look at the repeatables, because if you're doing it more than once, you can explain to us how you're doing it. We turn it into a process. We do it. You give us feedback. We make tweaks, and then we just keep doing it. So that's a great place to start.
So it's funny because last week I found myself having one of those weeks where I was like, well, I don't know what to do because everyone's doing everything for me. And that was like the other side of this, like, I'm used to go, do. And then I was like, but how do I relax now? Because I don't have anything else to do. So it was really nice. One tiny tweak that made a huge difference for me, Tiffany, one of the people on my team, helped me with my inbox management. And then the other day she's like, oh, I went in your inbox to do something for you, and there were no emails in there. Like, you're really keeping up with this system. And so even like the feeling of ease and the less stress, the decrease in stress that I feel not opening my inbox to 6,000 emails that look like a long ass to-do list. Instead, it's like, oh, everything's been taken care of for me, and I feel very supported in that process.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
I can totally relate to how you're feeling though, because I've been going through that also. Like, it's almost like a visionary identity crisis, because you're so used to being in the business every day that it's like, all right, what is my purpose? Where should I be spending my time? And so that's a hard change for people to make when they really start getting into delegation.
Right. And I can tell you some of the things that I'm doing are like taking better care of myself, spending more time in my home gym, scaling my business to a new location and a new building and a new purchase, and like all of that owner and leadership stuff that makes me really excited to make a bigger impact in our community. I don't want to forget to talk about team and turnover, because I've worked with some really great VAs in the past. And I remember saying, I really love this VA. I hope she doesn't leave. And like, spoiler alert, she did, because something happened. And that's just, like you said, the nature of the business, I think. And so that's different than how you do things. So I'd love for you to explain like what makes Delegate Solutions unique in this team approach and the employee approach that you have.
Well, it's definitely the hardest part of my business, and I say that freely. But really what it comes down to is we're a managed service provider. So when you work with us, you're not signing up for, to work with Tiffany or to work with whoever. You're signing up for Delegate to support you. And what that means is if Tiffany is sick or is on vacation or she quits or she gets fired, you don't have to worry about it, because we handle all of the transition of a new team member in, and we handle the transfer of knowledge. And, I would tell you to expect that could potentially happen, not with Tiffany in particular, but, to expect. I don't have any inside knowledge on that.
Go ahead. To expect turnover, because that happens. And
and plan for it. So you're not like caught off guard by that, because that is such a traumatic thing to go through. Like when you've let all this stuff go that you don't even remember what someone's doing anymore. And where are you supposed to go to pick up the pieces? So we have our teamed approach. You have a success manager. You actually have a backup buddy if one of them is sick. So there's a lot of people that know what's happening, you know, should anything happen.
Yeah. I think the other thing that made this really pivotal for me was like the weekly touch point that we have. And so I'm a DBT therapist, which might not mean much to you, but to my community is like very data driven, outcomes based, like looking towards results, and working through the process of accepting someone while also moving them towards change, right? And so when I put that in the context of what you're doing, every week I'm getting these like, did we meet these outcomes? Like, did we meet your success criteria? And so it causes me to pause and say, did you meet this? And they're like, give us feedback, tell us what we need to do, what needs to be better. And so it's really been this process of iterating and making better every week that we work together, but also this weekly check-in where I'm able to actually interact with the people that I'm working with and explain the kinds of things that I want done, because sometimes, well, you can probably tell already, I talk a lot. And so like, I kind of need to like verbally, what's that?
That's what you're good at.
Yeah, I need to work through things. And so having someone that I can interact with and have this solid, you know, start on time, end on time, every week we're meeting and we're doing the same thing has been really helpful for me to make sure that we're staying on track and that I'm moving towards my goals and doing what I need to do while people are helping support the tasks that they can do along the way too.
Yeah, I'm just going to take a second to reflect on my team killing it for you, because that's so great. It's for me, like as someone who designs these things and like comes up with these things, to hear it playing out with clients like as it was built, it's a wonderful feeling. So I want to acknowledge that. But
celebrate you. Yeah, you're crushing it.
Well, I think it's just nice to hear like everything we built and then it's being delivered as we built it, which feels good.
Yeah.
But with delegation, what we found, we've been doing it 13 years, is that progress is really subjective. And so that's why we do that scorecard type mentality around, you know, who's doing what by when, are we on track, are we off track? We follow EOS, the Entrepreneur's Operating System, as a framework for how we're delivering the service to really make it more objective so that we can prove, you know, progress being made against what you're saying your goals are.
So because I like went through your blog and everything and I go all in on everything, I also have shifted my practice to more of an EOS model, and we're using a lot of the same strategies because I've seen how helpful and successful they are, you know, working with Delegate Solutions to keep me on track and keep progress on track. So fully believe in it. And yeah, it's been so helpful.
That is like, I know you're in coach now, which is very exciting.
Yes.
Very exciting. But EOS, you know, they're for different reasons, but EOS is completely transformational for the business. And so as deep as you can go into there, coaches, it's more about the mindset of creating a company that can run without you. And EOS is like the literal framework to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've transformed my business in so many ways. Anything else that you think would be helpful? So just in terms of, you know, people knowing who you are, what you do, how you help.
Yeah, I mean, we're industry agnostic, so we really don't have any concerns around what type of business you have. Our system kind of works, you know, and we come in and plug in. As long as we have an entrepreneur who's trying to grow and who's stressed out, that's our ideal client. We are accepting clients. We have some promotions running right now. And let's see. I mean, I think those are the main points. We have some webinars coming up. We're doing one with Strategic Coach. We just announced it today, called Who Not How in Real Life. Mm-hmm. And Mark O'Donnell, who is the visionary now for EOS Worldwide, is our client and friend and was our implementer. And so he's going to do a case study with us, Strategic Coach, and Vision Spark, which is this great assessment tool that we use to evaluate staff. So that's coming up on the 29th.
Awesome. So I will link all that below the video so that people have that if they want to access that. I want to think if I have anything to sum up here. I can't say enough good things about Delegate Solutions. I think anyone who, just like you said, feels stressed out, who feels overwhelmed, who feels like they've hit the ceiling in terms of what they can accomplish, but they have big dreams and know they want to do more. That is me. Like I need to make a bigger impact. I need to keep going, but I can't do it all on my own. And so I'm just grateful to have support, and also the structure of it all, you know, trusting that things are getting done and I know exactly what to expect, when to expect it, how I'm communicating with everyone, and that all of those pieces are then being documented so that they can take them and run with them and repeat those processes while I'm doing other things in my business. So amazing things. And I would encourage anyone who's looking to reach out to Delegate Solutions and see if it's a match for your business. I know you have a couple different packages for hours and things like that, which is typical for how I think most of us therapists are aware of these kinds of support systems. Where can people, oh, go ahead.
We're virtual, obviously, so we can help you in any part of the country, no problem.
Oh yes, that's important to say it too. Where can people find you? I know I'll put it in there, but just so give yourself a tag, where should people go?
Delegatesolutions.com.
Perfect. Emily, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for your support, and I'm so pleased to hear how everything's going on your account, so thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Bye, everyone.